Alrighty, it is officially time. Hello and welcome to Stretch Break. My name's Amber Langford and I'll be running you through your stretches today. For today's class, we are using our chairs. For our chairs, I recommend that we use a stable or stationary chair, one ideally without any wheels. If you do have wheels, I ask that you please lock them if you're able to do so. And I also ask if you have that rolling chair to press that chair up against a wall or stable surface just to take away some of that rolling and twisting. We're going to begin standing today. And we're actually going to move into a bent over position first. We're going to be using the seat of our chair to do some stretches. We're going to be stretching our forearms first. So in our bent over position, we're going to start with our shoulders over our wrists, allowing a soft knee bend, hips are over those ankles, and we're going to take one hand and we're going to turn our hands so our fingers are facing our body, and we're just going to slowly press that hand palm into the seat of our chair, trying to extend our elbow so our elbow is nice and straight. Palm is pressing into that seat of your chair. You should feel a good stretch in your forearm, but if you need to increase that stretch, you can shift your shoulders backwards while keeping that palm on your chair. That's going to increase the intensity of your stretch. Let's hold for one more deep breath. And then relax the end of that. You can flip that hand forward, taking your other hand now, flipping so those fingers are facing your body, slowly pressing that palm down into your chair, elbows straight. And then to increase stretch, as always, you can just lean backwards, bring those shoulders back. That's going to increase that stretch. I'm a little bit tighter on this side, so I'm actually gonna go back a little bit more to that nice and neutral position with my shoulder over my wrist instead of behind it. One last deep breath here. Relax the end of that, keeping your hands on the seat of your chair. You can move your hands into a fist position if you feel any irritation in your wrist. And we're going to take one arm, placing that arm hand gently behind your head, elbows bent. We're going to start by lowering that elbow down, trying to reach for your opposite arm, and then rotate that elbow up to the ceiling and repeat, reaching for your opposite arm, dropping the elbow down, and then reaching for the ceiling, bringing the elbow up. Let's do one more on this side. Placing that arm down, we're going to switch sides. Other hand comes up, placing it behind our head, rotating to the ceiling, and then back down, reaching for that opposite hand or opposite arm. Let's do one more here. And then we have one last exercise in this position. We just focused on getting some stretching mobility through our upper back. So now we're going to focus on that low back and hip area a little bit. So we're going to straighten our left knee, right knee is bent, and we're going to look over that left shoulder. Return to center, bending your left knee, straightening the right, looking over that right shoulder. So we're kind of making a C shape with our spine, but we're getting a little bit more movement through that lower back and hip area by adding that knee bend and straighten. One more to each side. Relaxing out of that slowly. Coming up to a stand. We're going to be using the seat of our chair once again, but we're going to be placing our foot on top. If we're able to, I do have a variation for you if you're unable to get your foot all the way up onto the seat of your chair. But starting with that right leg, you're going to use one hand or both hands to hold on to the back of your chair. Right leg comes up, and we're going to swivel that foot in, adding some internal rotation at the hip. You can feel free to kind of grab that outer thigh, pulling your leg in and kind of over towards that left side. Now, if you're unable to get your leg all the way up onto your chair, you can step a little bit closer to your chair, bend your knee, adding that rotation, but we're going to avoid that hip flexion and kind of keep that knee lower down. So right now my knee is resting on the seat of my chair. I could even kind of straighten that leg out a little bit more and brace my toe on the ground if you need to. One more deep breath. Relaxing out of that, switching sides. You can feel free to switch sides of the chair if you need to. I'm just going to step to the other end of that seat, bring my left leg up, crossing it over, and then giving it a gentle tug in to increase that stretch. Once again, you can brace that knee down on the seat of your chair. You can even kind of straighten your leg out to get that toe on the ground to give you just a little bit more support here. But we're still adding that crossover motion to get that glute stretched out. One more deep breath here. Relaxing out of that. And feel free to have a seat in your chair. We're going to move to some seated stretches next. We just did that internal rotation, so now we're going to get that external rotation with a seated figure 4 stretch. So right leg first, taking your right leg if you're able to. Crossing that ankle right above your knee, starting first by just dropping that right knee down to the ground, sitting up nice and tall. If you are unable to get your foot up onto your thigh, you can straighten out your left leg and then cross that right ankle lower down, like on your shin, on that ankle, and then allowing that knee to drop and fall open. Inhaling through your nose, exhaling through your mouth. One more deep breath. And then slowly lower that chest down towards your legs. Keeping that knee open. One more deep breath. Lifting your chest up, uncrossing your right leg, taking that left and then crossing right above your knee, dropping that left knee down to the ground, hip is open. Once again, you can straighten that right leg out and then cross your left ankle lower down on your shin or on your ankle and then allowing that knee to drop. Chest is nice and upright to start. One last breath. And then dropping that chest towards your legs. One more deep breath here. Lifting that chest back up, uncrossing those legs. And we're going to widen that stance just a little bit. So we're going to kind of bring our feet about one step out. So a little bit of a modified sumo stance. We're not in that full sumo, just kind of a small separation with those legs to allow for some room for our roll downs. So hands are going to be just kind of down at our sides, tucking our chin to our chest. We're going to slowly round our back, reaching our hands down to the ground, getting as low as you can before inhaling, and then exhale, rolling back up, stacking one vertebrae on top of the other. Your head is the last thing to come up. We're going to do 4 of these today, trying to get as much movement through your spine as you can. And on that last one, we're just going to hold at the bottom. So if you're staying on my count, that was 3. So on this last one, we round down, reaching for the ground. And then we're just going to hold. Letting gravity pull us deeper into the stretch. If you're able to and you're reaching the ground, you can feel free to brace your hands on the ground. One more deep breath here. Slowly rolling back up one final time. Relaxing out of that, you can bring your legs in. And we're going to move to a little bit of upper body. We're going to get a little bit of an upper trap stretch. So we're going to take our left hand. Our left hand is going to grab our right wrist, but we're going to do this position behind our back. So this is the grip we're going to be using, but we're going to reach behind. The left hand holds onto that right wrist, and we're just going to gently pull both hands over to the left, dropping that left ear towards that left shoulder, really opening up that upper trap. Now, if you're unable to get your hands behind your back, a couple options. You can have your hands down at your sides, or you can just kind of place just that right hand back behind your back, just to give a little bit more of a stretch in that upper trap area. One more deep breath. Lifting your head up, releasing your hands. Give me a little shake, a little roll, and then we're going to switch. So now we're going to have that right hand holding onto that left wrist, pulling both hands over to the right, and then dropping right ear to right shoulder, opening up that left side of our neck, that left upper trap. Once again, you can have your hands down at your sides, or you can have just that left hand kind of pulled back behind your back. One more deep breath here. Lifting that head back up, releasing your hands. One final stretch. We're going to give just a little bit of an overhead stretch. So lacing your fingers. We're going to flip our hands so our palms face away. And we're just going to slowly reach overhead, reaching up as tall as you can, trying to press the palms of your hands up towards the ceiling, holding for just one more deep breath. And on the exhale, you can release those fingers, reaching those hands back down to your sides. And that is all of the stretching I have for you all today. Thank you so much for joining Stretch Break. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. And I'll see y'all next time.